Welcome back, guys, and welcome to Coping with a Disability or Learning to Live Healthy with a Disability. This is part two of the first section, which is goal setting. Uh, Hope everybody has their paper handy and they wrote down a few of the goals and stuff from the past. I'm going to kind of be bouncing back and forth between my notes and the camera. I just want to make sure that I hit on everything. Uh, so just be patient with me, and I'm going to have a group exercise here in just a few minutes. So, first of all, now my glasses broke, so I got these old ones on. Makes me look like Mr. Magoo. Anyways, so what have we done so far? What have you done so far in your life? Think about the past and your past accomplishments. Those accomplishments are goals that you set and you got through. What have you done? Have you maybe raised a family or held a job uh, or you know just about anything? Uh, some of these accomplishments may have seemed really easy, and some of them may have been a struggle. What accomplishments did you have to really work for? These might have been large goals or long-term goals. Okay, for the first exercise, take out your pencil and paper again and write down a few accomplishments and try to identify whether they were small, medium, or large goals, or short, intermediate, or long-term goals. I'm going to take a little break here. You can just pause me and then come back. And I'm going to sip a drink of coffee. Okay, welcome back. Now, I want you to look at your questions or look at your answers and uh, ask yourself these questions. I got 4 bullet points here I want to cover. How did you get and stay motivated? What did you do to keep yourself going? If you was raised in a family, maybe it was just because somebody had to do it and you just forced yourself into it and made yourself do it. That's an important goal. That's an important thing because a lot of the goals we have are tough. Like if we go back to the last session and we were talking about, I wasn't going to mention weight loss and things like that, but if you really think about it, that's another thing with weight loss. If you don't do it because you just got to, you do it for any other reason. If you do it for any reason besides taking care of yourself, you're never going to get it done. And it's very, very, very hard. So that's a good thing to ask yourself. Okay, how long did it take you to reach your accomplishment? Did it take a day, a week, year, many years? Uh, Again, think back. What kept you motivated? We're going to. Why I'm asking this question is, as you go through this, you're going to have to find those footholds, find those things that uh, made you strong before, and use them again. That's a good tool to have. Like if you're climbing a mountain, if you don't have a good foothold, you're going to fall. And it's the same thing with setting large-term goal or long-term goals. And I hate how they put large and long. It's the same thing with setting a long-term goal. If you don't have a foothold, even to get started, you may fail. So what you need to do is use those short-term goals as building steps till you can reach that long-term goal. That's exactly how goals work, and it's an interesting thing. Okay, now let's see what this next bullet point was. Okay, what help did you need or receive from others? Did you look up information on Google? Did you ask, like if you were a young parent, did you call your mom to find out what to do when your child was sick? Did you take the child to the emergency room? Uh, did certain people come around to give you a hand? Was it family members or or health caregivers? Did they come around and give you a hand? Okay, and then the last one, if you could do it over again, how would you change how you reached your goals and accomplishments? So that's a good thing to do, is to reflect back, and that's just what we did with that exercise, is you reflect back a little bit to see what worked and what didn't work. What would you have done different? How many times did you run into a wall not realizing that there was a door right next to it? I mean, I know that I do that a lot. When I'm set a goal, I'll just keep bouncing off the wall, uh, figuratively, of course. I keep bouncing off this wall, not even with my horse blinders on, and not even see that right next to me is an open doorway. Uh, so you have to learn how to circumnavigate. I keep wanting to use that word for some reason. The situation, and to get around. And remember to take those blinders off. Be open for everything that's around you, things that may assist you. Uh, Very important thing to do. Okay, I want to keep going because we're running already 6 minutes into this. Okay, what are the difference between goals and desires? Everyone has desires, but not everyone has goals. Desires are things that you'd like to have in your lives, and goals are, desires aren't bad or anything, and they often become real. But goals are specific ideas that you may need help with to reach your desires. So basically, an end goal or long-term goal may be to reach a desire, but the goals and setting those goals and taking those steps is what really gets you there. Say, okay, I want an ice cream sundae, and it's at the Dairy Queen, but I'm in Wyoming in the middle of winter, and there's snow on the ground, and I'm in a wheelchair, and I don't have anyone here to drive me up there or to go pick it up for me. How am I going to get this done? Well, you look around and you try to figure out what's there. Is there truly no one to help you? Is there, do you really need the ice cream? If you do, and most people do, uh, you're going to find ways to get those things done. Uh, so that's exactly what I'm saying. Is you got to dig in, look around you, not just at that desire and that's the only thing in your mind, but look around you and see that if somebody else is heading out, like a friend or a neighbor, uh, ask them if they wouldn't mind stopping and picking that up for you on their way back home. You know, if they're going into town or something, that's just something you could do. That's something that we would need to work on a lot. Is to That's what we're going to go into, advocating for yourself and speaking up and communicating with folks. That's some other things we're going to be talking about in these lessons. And that's a very important thing to remember, is if you need something, you know, vocalize it. Okay, kind of jumping off track here a little bit. Okay, we're basic needs. Okay, if you look at Maslow's basic needs list, it's going to say you need shelter, food, and safety. That's the three things that Maslow talks about at first. And then there's other things that stack on top of it, like your emotional support, your spiritual, physical, intellectual, and finally your social, being able to get out. Uh, to have a good quality of life, you need to touch on each of these things. But the first thing we worry about, of course, is the basic needs like shelter and food and safety. You know, if you don't feel safe in the place that you're in, uh, you're never going to be able to be strong and make those goals happen. So you're going to have to get into a safe place, and sometimes it's really hard to do without being able to vocalize what you need. So you know that's something that we're going to have to work on. And even if you are unable to speak, there are other ways of putting that information out there, uh, through writing, through gestures, through just, whatever it takes to get it out there. Uh, I'm going to kind of bust through these goals now. Uh, we're 10 minutes in. I think we talked enough probably right now about goals and goal setting. Remember just to take it off in little bitty nibbles until you get to that long term piece of cheese. Okay, in our next section, we will be talking about problem solving. Very good chapter. Uh, I think that you'll like it. It's problem solving on the bumpy path to success. And I like this. There's a quote in here from the jazz musician Duke Ellington. It says, "A problem is a chance for you to do your best." And that's very interesting, and we'll see what he means by that as we get into the problem solving videos that I'll be doing next. Thank you for watching. I know this was a little bit scattered. Um, I do not like this camera. We're going to try to use a better camera from now on, but I did want to get this second part out there. So one of the things I need you to do during the break is start thinking about your basic needs. Are they all covered? Are you safe? Do you have shelter? Do you have food? And if you don't, then you need to start looking around to see what's out there. Not keeping your blinders on and walking into walls, but looking around at what's out there. There's services for just about anything out there now. You just have to find the right person to reach out for you or reach out yourself. Advocate for yourself. Uh, Call around to the different programs until you find out exactly what they do or don't do. Check with things like your Red Cross, Salvation Army, uh, civic organizations, churches, uh, friends and family. See what they can do to help you out. Or if you're in a situation where you're in a long-term care facility, uh, talk to the nurse, talk to the doctor, talk to the social workers. Keep yourself safe. Keep yourself sheltered and make sure that there's some food around so you stay healthy. Again, thank you for listening in. This is Larry saying, see you next time.